What's going on, internet weirdos? So big news came out yesterday, I guess. I didn't hear the full story until today, but the big news is apparently Bill Clinton rescued some kind of diplomatic mission. He rescued these two journalists who were captured by the North Koreans a little while back. I'd say probably a month ago. And you know what? Here's the thing with this situation. Okay, a government doesn't go and just arrest journalists for no reason. And the thing you need to know about America is that, let me just give you some history. Back in like the 50s, maybe early 60s, around then, right after World War II, I believe it was, America was very conscientious of this thing called communism. They were all about looking around for communists and weeding them out. And at that time, I don't know if this is a confirmed fact, but around 1/3, in other words, 1 out of 3 people in America either worked directly for an intelligence agency or was an informant. So basically, 1 out of every 3 people, if you had a conversation in a room with 2 other people, 1 of the people in the room was going to tell, if you said anything about communism or revolution or Russia or anything you said, that would be relayed somehow. And they were keeping tabs on people, it was crazy. And there's a lot of intelligence agencies today. I think there are more today than there was. There's the ones that we know about, CIA, FBI, and then there's ones we don't know about. Like, for example, I have no idea what our overseas spy agency is. If I did, I would be working for that agency. I would be in the government, but I don't. Maybe somebody knows. Maybe the British spy agency knows, but regular people, that's not information for us. But which brings me to the point. These 2 journalists were claimed by the North Koreans to be spies, and you know what? It's probably true because, number one, when the news stories come out, there's a reason why there are FBI and intelligence agency peoples in every newsroom for every major network, from, ABC News, NBC, CNN. They have to have a government official there because if someone's going to report on a story that is going to be detrimental to America's safety and, security and secret stuff. For example, like if 2 spies get caught in another country, they have to say, no, don't report on that. That's sensitive. You can't put those people's pictures up, etc., etc. But what I think happened was, this is purely speculation, is that somebody decided, you know what, those spies in North Korea are doing a very, 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 very important job there. And they were not meant to get caught. This was, good on North Korea's security that they found these journalists, they identified them as American spies and captured them, but they have very sensitive information. They're obviously, very important individuals that they were able to infiltrate North Korea. And so someone decided, you know what, we need to get them back at any cost, at whatever it takes. And the fastest, and everybody knows this, the biggest, fastest way to get anything done in this world is to bring as much publicity and exposure to it as possible. If your computer battery melts out and you're like pissed off and you're calling the computer company all the time, you might get it done eventually. But if you get that same story and you take pictures of it and it gets on Dig and it gets 50 million hits in a couple of weeks, guess what? You're going to get your computer back new one fixed for you very much quicker. And I think that's what happened here. They said, we're going to make this public, that these journalists were captured. We don't care that, that the North Koreans are claiming them to be spies because we know they're spies. We just need them back because they have sensitive information and whatever. So they said, just let it out there. So that means that they could fire on all fronts. They could, call directly and say, we need those people back. We can send high-level diplomats. In other words, Bill Clinton. And Bill Clinton was this ambassador. This guy went and sat on a chair next to frickin' Kim Jong-il. And this is a guy that's supposed to be, an international rogue state, crazy, guy with nuclear weapons. And here we are bending over and saying whatever you want. And who knows what the deal was in order for us to get those journalists back. Who knows? We have no idea beyond this public appearance of one of our former presidents with their president sitting down politely, saying that this is going to be an exchange. Who knows what the deal was? Because they know they had something. As soon as we're like, oh, you got our journalists? Like, what? Since when does America care about journalists? None, never. We fucking kill journalists in Iraq. We blow them up on purpose. Everybody knows that. So it's just, it's just a fascinating thing that if you saw it through the lens that I'm looking at it, it's just a fascinating thing that this type of activity is happening, in the public, view, just out there. I don't know. What do you think? What are your thoughts on it? Because the news, you're not going to get this kind of analytical, commentary on like a major news outlet or anything like that. But, I don't know. What do you think? Peace.